There haven't been many smiles in both Saskatchewan or Calgary this season, but with a victory tonight, one team will leave very happy. The two teams have split the season series, and a win for the Riders locks up a playoff spot, while the Stampeders, with a win, would keep their season alive. Jake Mayer has a 3-1 record in 4 starts against Saskatchewan. The Calgary quarterback needs just 173 yards to become the 10th Calgary quarterback ever to reach the 4,000-yard mark. Jamal Morrow, meanwhile, led all CFL rushers last week with 120 yards. He's working towards 1,000 on the season, but more importantly, a playoff spot for the team in green. And welcome, everybody, on TSN 3. We have got a barn burner going on the other TSN channels with Hamilton and BC trading blows. But we know why you're here. You're either a big fan of the Riders or the Stamps, or more importantly, you want to watch an extra playoff game, Milt, because that's essentially what this one is.
That's exactly what it is. Whoever wins this game, and of course, the Saskatchewan wins, they're in. But I also believe if Calgary wins and they have a little bit of work to do, they're in. That's the type of game this is. Yes, both of these teams haven't played well, and the two areas that I'm watching, of course, is this Saskatchewan defense, who over the last 5 games have been atrocious. 2,500 net yards, 500 yards a game. But also, Jake Mayer, you know, there was so much promise coming into this year, and he hadn't lived up to it. 8 of 15 games, he hadn't thrown a touchdown pass. So those are the two entities that I'm really watching in this game.
Whew, with a real Saskatchewan Roughriders or Calgary Stampeders, please stand up. You know, seemed like the other day, it was Saskatchewan put a beat down on the Winnipeg Blue Bombers and BC Lions in back-to-back weeks, and since then they've just tanked. And I'm not sure if it's the defense or the offense that is the fault there. It's awfully difficult when you're one-dimensional, playing from behind, because your defense is giving up 38-plus points a ball game. To me, that's where the problem lies for the Saskatchewan. They got to fix that on a team that is getting some talent back.
Yeah, and you said it, a playoff game. That's where we're at right now. So whatever problems you had up to now, it doesn't matter. You got to bring your playoff game now, and I think the quarterbacks obviously are the focus here. It's got to be big performance from both of these guys. In particular, Jake Mayer, expectations are high, and this Saskatchewan defense has struggled. So let's see if they can get it together on the back end, because there's a lot of holes I saw last week.
Yeah, no doubt. Pressure in both of these markets, both of these rosters, both of the coaches. It's Dickinson Bowl number 10. We'll see who's got bragging rights. We'll be back in Calgary after this. Diane Fleming of Kamloops, BC. This is your chance to win big thanks to Save On $1 Million Touchdown to Win. If a kickoff is returned for a touchdown, you could win groceries for a year. If 2 touchdowns are returned in this game, you could also win $1 million. Good luck, Diane. Now let's send it to Calgary. Here's Dustin Nielsen and Glenn Suter.
A chilly Friday night under the lights in Calgary sets the stage for a huge game between the Riders and Stampeders. The season series is up for grabs. It's a big one. I'm excited to be here for Friday Night Football. Calgary simply has to have this to keep their playoff hopes alive, but they have lost 6 of 7. On the other side, quarterback Jake Dolgala and the visitors having lost 5 in a row, but a win here tonight, and they're in.
Yeah, absolutely. Two young quarterbacks in this, relatively speaking. Jake Dolegala wants to exercise a couple of demons. He wants to stop this losing skid and get his first home win on Friday the 13th. On Friday Night Football, Jake Maier started 27 games for the Calgary Stampeders. It has been a challenge of late for this team. 2-5 at home, which is unheard of for Calgary, but he's 3-1 against the Riders.
They have lost 6 of their last 7, have the Calgary Stampeders, but they have made the playoffs 17 consecutive years, looking to avoid ending that streak tonight, and it'll be his brother trying to do it. Riders have been struggling, though. They have lost 6 in a row on the road after opening up the season by winning their first 2 road games. That is Ryan Meskel. Brett Lawther not able to go tonight. Meskel was on the practice roster with Edmonton last year, played in 1 game, so has a little bit of CFL experience. As I mentioned off the top, it's a chilly night at McMahon. 7 degrees at kickoff with wind gusts up to 27 kilometers an hour. Calgary won the toss, said give us the football, and they have it. Back on the return to about the 30. Tackle made eventually. Good coverage downfield by the Riders. And here's a look at Jake Maier in a big one against Saskatchewan.
Well, he's 4-11, so the record speaks for itself. It's been a challenge, but he's closing in on 4,000 yards passing on the season. They're going to eliminate some of those interceptions. But as you mentioned off the top, this team can win and then control their own destiny, because they have 2 games after this one. The Riders just won, and this game is for the season series between the 2 teams.
The other 2 have just been amazing games as well. Hopefully we're in for a treat here tonight at McMahon in Calgary. They start on their own 29. 3 options out to the left for Jake Maier. They'll hand it off, and pushing it ahead for a decent pickup on first down is Peyton Logan. And Kadeem Carey will check into the game now as part of this Calgary offense.
Yeah, up front, Sean McEwen's going to be the key in trying to help out in controlling Micah Johnson and Anthony Lanier in the middle of the Saskatchewan D line. And the playmakers got to be the playmakers. No Reggie Begelton tonight. So can Mark and Michelle step up and take over those second down catches? And this offense runs best when it goes through Kadeem Carey.
No, Begelton is big, leads the league in targets and catches. 2nd and 6 here for Maier. Looking to avoid a 2-and-out to start the game. Has some time over the middle. Odoms Dukes has it for a first down for Calgary. Their first of the game.
It's going to be real interesting for Calgary tonight to figure out exactly who will fill the role for Reggie Begelton. Begelton over 1,000 yards receiving on the season, not available tonight due to injury. So maybe it will be Trey Odoms Dukes. He becomes that second down guy. 11-yard gain there.
Odoms Dukes comes in just over 630 yards receiving. Now they'll flip it to Allen into the lineup. A little bit of a reverse to the 50. Breaks the tackle, midfield and more. And Floyd Allen, in just his 4th game of the season, makes a big play here early.
Old Miss grad, he's the guy that's on the roster for Reggie Begelton, taking that fly sweep around the corner. 2 years at Old Miss. Quite the journey for a guy who walked on with the Houston Texans, was very close to making that squad, and ends up in Calgary.
Was behind DK Metcalf and A.J. Brown at Old Miss. Didn't see a lot of action there. Now they'll try some more trickery, getting into the hands of Hakunavanu, but that goes for a 5-yard loss. Haven't seen them mix in Hakunavanu that often in that way this season.
Going with that fly sweep, trying to push the edges, but great penetration up the middle. Stops that play in its tracks. Maldonado making the play in the rotation.
Backs him up at midfield. Now 2nd and 15 from the Calgary 54. Maier looks to his right. Pressure up the middle. Gets it away. avoids the sack, threw it at the feet of Kadeem Carey. Anthony Lanier was in the backfield almost immediately after that ball was snapped.
Well, this defense has got to just pull its weight. I mean, this is a defense that really hasn't recovered from the blowout game in the rematch versus Winnipeg. The Labor Day rematch that long ago. They have just been hemorrhaging yards and points over the last month and a half. For the Riders to clinch a playoff spot tonight, their defense got to play better.
Defense surrendering over 31 points per game. 43-yard kick. Mauro Alford takes it back up to about the 20-yard line. And we'll get our first look at Jamal Morrow when we return, coming off a huge game last week in which he went for 120 yards and a touchdown. Well, I believe in sports they call it a do-or-die situation for the Calgary Stampeders, but this is what's on the line here tonight.
Well, the Riders win tonight or tie, they clinch the playoff spot. But Calgary, if they win, they're one win back, but they control their own destiny.
They have games remaining against BC and Winnipeg. Here's Morrow, cuts it back. Heavy collision just inside the 30. He'll get about 9 yards on that first down carry, picking up where he left off last week.
Well, was the best player for the Riders last week without question. 120 yards rushing in a game that the rest of the team didn't play very well. He came off that right side to get things started.
Dolegala stays in the game, uses that lanky frame to lunge ahead and pick up a first down for Saskatchewan.
Start number 9 for Jake Dolegala. Number 9 tries to find his first win on the road as a Riders starter.
Won the first couple of games, but as a team, not just on him, he's actually played okay in some of these losses. It's just they cannot keep the other team off the scoreboard. First and 10 from the 31. 4 options to the wide side left here for Dolegala. That's where he looks. That's where he throws. Jared Stearns goes down to get it, bounces back up, and is taken down around the 40-yard line. 9 more yards for Saskatchewan.
Take a look at this Rider offense, and you take in the inside. You got to look at those 2 tackles in Council and Lofton, because they're going to have to handle Mike Rose on the edge. He's on a tear of late. 10 sacks for him, and there's Jamal Morrow, 120, a losing cause last week.
Second and a couple, Dolegala, far side, and that one thrown at the feet of Stearns. Might have been able to take it himself for a first down there, but it's incomplete, and that'll bring up third down for the Riders.
Yeah, he wants that back. I mean, Dolegala is throwing on the run here, and it's just his footwork off, and drops this one, hops it to an open receiver at first down, at the first down mark.
Right back to the tablet for Dolegala. Logan slides back here. Tommy Lee Lewis, who has been returning, he's not available, has family commitments. Allen is back there as well. Logan and Allen will share in those duties. Horsack kicks it away in the direction of Allen. Takes it at the 20. Back to the 30, up the 32, and he is taken down. Jake Mayer will have the ball when we return to McMahon. Before tonight's game, the Stampeders honored the great George Reed, who passed away on October 1st, and spent many of his years living and working in Calgary after his playing career. Also honored was Cedric Giles, who passed away on September 24th. He was the last surviving member of the 1948 Stampeders, who are the only Grey Cup champion to go undefeated. He was 96 years old. Really nice tribute prior to the game for both of those men.
Real classy that the Stamps honor the late George Reed as well.
Mayer, pressure in his face, gets by and then has to throw it away. Ooh, the Riders are bringing some heat here early against Calgary tonight. Christian Albright was right there.
I think Larry Dean was part of this pressure as well. There he is right there. Larry Dean closing in on 100 tackles. The middle linebacker spot. Boy, we got a couple of great middle linebackers playing here tonight. Larry Dean, one of them. Micah Awe for the Calgary Stampeders.
First and second in the league in tackles. Dean needs 2 for 100, which has given him 3 100-yard seasons. 100 tackle seasons, I should say, making him just the 7th player to do that. So odds are that happens tonight. Mayer this time gets it away. Well, stiff arm there. And eventually wrapped up short of what they needed for the first down as he once again goes back to 87. That's Floyd Allen again.
Let's take a look. We're going to see a couple of great tacklers. Micah Awe for the Calgary Stampeders already over 100 tackles, and as you mentioned, Dustin, just 2 away is Larry Dean, but I believe he'll register that last one on Floyd Allen. So now he's 1 away.
He's closing in on it. 100 tackle watch continues. Kicked away. Alford settles in underneath it. Wrapped up immediately. Nowhere to go on that one. Kellen Thomas with the special teams takedown. Well, it did not lead to a victory, but Jamal Morrow put in a shift last week, didn't he?
On the night that we honored the late George Reed in Saskatchewan, tailback Jamal Morrow was the best player wearing green and white, and 120 yards. He has 200-yard rushing games this season. The other was against Calgary.
They're going to go right back to him again, pushing ahead. Decent pickup right up the middle, 4 yards on first down against this Calgary defense.
Mentioned Mike Rose taking a run. He's got 10 sacks. That's 6 behind Matthew Betts of BC. That game was a bit ahead of us. I'm not sure. I'll have to check the stats, see if Betts got another one. There's Mike Awe in the middle, over 100 defensive tackles for the Texas Tech grad. And in the secondary, Trey Roberson has been an all-star. Got to play his best game tonight.
Dolegala, 4-man pressure. Escapes the pocket right up the middle, and he will slide very close to a first down. Looks like where they spot it. In fact, it will be a first down picked up on the legs of Dolegala.
Couple of receivers out there for Dolegala. 3, as a matter of fact, into the short side of the field. Let's see what he was looking at. Well covered. Late one. May have opened up a little bit late, but Brad Muhammad dropped under that. So good decision by Jake Dolegala to go ahead and run for the first.
Dolegala watching in the first 2 games of the season. Trevor playing in those, injured in the second one. Mason Fine came into that game. One-handed catch of beauty as he drops it in there for Schaefer Baker, who effortlessly snags it with one hand.
A lot of the Rider fans were concerned with Jake Dolegala's last game against Hamilton because only 2 of his 29 attempts were over 20 yards. Really wasn't pushing the ball down the field. And we're seeing a little bit of that now, but what they want is success on first down. We talked to Jake about it this week. Said there's a balance to be had there. Take your shots when they present themselves.
Needs 6 more for a first down here. Fakes the handoff to Morrow. Now down the field, broken up neatly by Dozier as he laid out, blocking the intended target of Sean Bain, the former Calgary Stampeder.
Well, he's not a secret, but Brandon Dozier, one of the best defensive players for the Stamps all year. I mean, he has been that throughout his career in a lot of different positions, but so versatile for Dave Dickinson to play a lot of different spots in this campaign for Calgary.
Riders forced to kick it away. Horsack standing on his own 40. They've lost 6 in a row on the road, 5 in a row overall. This time they'll kick it to Logan. Takes it at the 9. To the 20 and no further on the return. Brandon Dozier, a dangerous weapon defensively. Play him at safety, play him in the middle. Gets to this one. Calgary has any hope of making the postseason, they have to have this one. For more on what's at stake here for quarterback Jake Maier, let's send it down to Bridgdorf.
Yeah, he told his teammates this week, well, guys, all season long we've been playing for a home playoff game. Here it is. He said, we're not playing like a 4-11 team, or we don't seem like it. We believe if we can win this and get in, we can do some damage. The team also talked about you want to be playing important football in October. And back to Jake Maier, he said, when you were a kid and you were throwing the ball around with your buddies or your siblings, these were the games you were playing. Hey, if you catch this, we make playoffs. If you miss it, you have to do the dishes. And Dustin, I know you said you do that with your son Marshall all the time.
Yeah, he does a ton of dishes. Just a ton of dishes in the Nielsen household.
Yeah, that won't last. He'll take over soon, I guarantee you. And that's what it is. It's a playoff game for both these teams.
Shout out to Britt for being appropriately dressed, too. Chilly night here at McMahon. I wasn't even thinking. 3 to the left, 3 to the right here for Jake Maier. Empty backfield. 4-man rush. Pressure from behind, and they get him. There to take him down, it's Robertson. 7th sack of the season for 45.
All the way around the corner and tracks him down from behind is Pete Robertson. 6 sacks, which leads the Saskatchewan Roughriders on the season. Working one-on-one on Demaray, and he gets the edge, gets around the corner, and because the secondary had shut down the first 2 reads, Robertson gets home.
A loss of 8. Maier gets this one away, far side, complete hit to Navanu. Bounces off a tackle. Good second effort, but not near enough to pick up the first down, and Calgary will be forced to kick it away from deep in their own territory.
Deep, but the Akunavano catch does give him a little bit more breathing room to punt this out, at least give their defense a chance. Because if they kick it from where Jake Maier threw it, kicking it from their own end zone. They're only on the 5-yard line as it is, but
Cody Grace averaging about 48 yards per punt this year. Lets it fly from just inside the 15. Alfred waits, has some room, gets it at the 40. Take it back to the 50, taken down, and once again, that's Kellen Thomas with his 2nd special teams tackle of the evening.
take a look at the Calgary Stampeders with 100 tackle seasons. Alex Singleton, a couple in 17 and 18. 2005, remember George White, standing linebacker, can cover too. Is great pass defense. And Micah Alway, 19 tackles for him in the 2 games against the Riders coming into this one.
Nice season joining Calgary here for Alway. And there he is, in on the tackle again. Had some help from his friends, but that's already his 3rd tackle of the game.
Now Alway has got to avoid the hit that he's had a couple of this year that get him in trouble with the league office and cause him 15 yards on the field. That was a good tackle. Him and his teammates getting there, but he's had some issues with that. Can't have it in a playoff game.
2nd and 9 for Dolagala. Wanted to go downfield. He's going to be pressured, and he is taken down. And Yemi Berglund is there. His 5th sack of the season.
Yeah, I think this is another coverage sack, and Yemi Berglund's going to get home, but first read for Dolagala. Let's see. He's looking to this left side of the field, doesn't like that, goes back, and by the time he gets all the way across to the wide side, Yemi Berglund gets there.
Defenses bringing the pressure here on Friday Night Football. 3rd and 17 after a 7-yard setback. Horsack gets it away cleanly. Logan runs underneath it, bounces over top of his head. At the turnaround, secured it, and is forced out of bounds by the cover team of the Riders.
Take a look at the starters for the Riders up front. These games, these playoff-type games, your best players have got to be your best players. That means Micah Johnson. That means Larry Dean. Tremaine Washington will start on the corner for him, but Nick Marshall's got to have his best game in the last month and a half. And Washington has some experience in both Toronto and with Edmonton. 10 interceptions with both those teams in his CFL career. So he understands the importance of this game.
Just his third game of the year. Calgary works from their own 24. Mayer on the run to his right, takes what he can get from the short side of the field into the hands of Odom's Dukes. Looks like he wanted to push that ball down the field, though, didn't he?
Yeah, interesting these first few series for both of these teams. Dave Dickinson getting more and more involved as the season went on with some of the play calling again. And see a lot of Kadeem Carey, haven't seen a lot of Jamal Morrow over the last couple of series. And that's, I think, when both of these teams are at their best.
Kadeem Carey doesn't have a carry yet in this ball game, and we're almost to the end of the first quarter. A little surprising there. 2nd and 6. He's in there right next to Jake Mayer. Will they give it to him here? No. Mayer gets it away, and that is straight up dropped by Allen. Would have had enough for the first down, and he might have been thinking he was going to turn that upfield for a little bit more.
That's exactly what he did. He tried to run that quick slant and took a peek to where he wanted to run just before he secured it. Quick slant inside, take a peek up. Just that split second where your eyes lose the football and then you drop it.
Ooh, this one just gets away in time. Alford takes it after another Calgary 2-and-out. Mario Alford wrapped up and taken down. I'd like to welcome all of our viewers who saw the BC Lions get by Hamilton 33-30. Looks like you retreated to a thriller in the first half of Friday Night Football Double Dip.
The Lions aren't going to give up that chance for home field advantage just yet, even though they lost to a close one to Winnipeg 2 weeks ago.
Still trying to track down the Bombers. Had to have it, and they got it done tonight by 3. Riders, Stamps, scoreless here at McMahon. Dolagala gets this one away down the field. Heavy pop at the end of the play, but Emelis hangs on. It was Muhammad who was looking to dislodge that ball, but Emelis has the biggest play of the ball game.
Yeah, Emelis with 97 yards to go for his 1,000-yard season leads the team in receiving yards and paid the price to hang on there.
19 yards for number 19. Dolagala quickly gets this one away. He was trying to go right back to Emelis. Jonathan Moxey there in defense.
Tremendous season for Emelis. In fact, they have 3 receivers, the Riders, that could get to 1,000 yards. John Bain and Tevin Jones, but we've seen some spectacular catches from Emelis, and this one just paying the price the play before the hit from Muhammad.
Final play of the opening quarter. Empty backfield here for Dolagala as Morrow flares out. They'll get it to Bain, the former Calgary Stampeder, and he takes it down inside the 30. $19 more yards, this time to Bain. And the first signs of offense on either side of the ball in this football game come at the end of the first quarter. Dolagala with a couple of big completions in a battle that's been all about the defense so far here. Friday Night Football coming at you from McMahon in Calgary. Welcome back to McMahon. We are scoreless in a pretty good defensive battle, I think, so far between these two clubs.
Well, you know, the two games they played against each other earlier in the season were real close games. No surprise that this is going to be a close game as well. I think for Calgary, a little bit of Kadeem Carey. We haven't really seen him at all in that first quarter. And what I've seen differently for Saskatchewan than last week was that front 7 on defense is getting after it in this one tonight.
Dolagala, 4 of 7 for 50 yards, 38 of that coming on this drive. 19 to Emos, 19 to Bain, and they're in business working from the Calgary 28. Get it out to Bain, hauls it in, but is tackled immediately by Williams, and nowhere to go. That'll bring up 2nd and long.
Brought in the fullback Albert Awachi there to get a little more blocking help for Jake Dolagala and try and get production on 1st down. They're going to go 2nd and long. And Calgary goes with pressure here.
3 options out to the right for Dolagala. Now Bain slides into the slot over there as well. That's where he looks. Flag on the play. They'll dump it off to Stearns. Stearns breaks a couple of tackles, upended right at the 20. And we've got the first flag of the ball game.
Changing things up, though, formation-wise. Stearns was in the backfield there, and they got Jamal Morrow out of the backfield in early motion.
Offside, Saskatchewan, number 81. The 5-yard penalty will replay 2nd down.
It's Picton. It's called on the flag there. Stearns is an interesting weapon. He's a little bit different than the other guys that they have, I feel. I know you can mix Bain into some of these too, but I don't know, Stearns has a little bit of a different vibe to him.
Well, a couple weeks ago, got his first 100-yard game against the BC Lions.
Schaefer Baker also had 100 yards in that game. Dolagala guns it in there. Alway, Dozier on the tackle of Bain. And that'll bring up 3rd down here for Saskatchewan. And Ryan Meskel will come out to attempt the field goal. An Australian, went to school in Hawaii, 29 years old, practice roster with Edmonton last year, and did play in their 2nd game of the year last season against the BC Lions.
Yeah, Brent Lowther apparently, he's on the trip, but just apparently
couldn't go.
Yeah, couldn't go today. Sick.
34-yard attempt for Meskel in a huge game here for the Riders, and that one is up, and the nerves are calmed a little bit as Meskel knocks it through. Riders on the board first. CFL on TSN continues tomorrow with a doubleheader. Coverage begins with the Alouettes versus the Elks, followed by the Red Blacks and Argos. Get rolling at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific on TSN.
Now with the Hamilton loss earlier tonight, Montreal wins. They lock up home field in the semifinal. And I know they're out, but I just want to see Trey Ford play football again.
He's kind of a fun individual to watch, isn't he? Kadeem Carey finally gets the ball in this football game. And a short pickup on 1st down. Been a tough year. Just 7 games played for Kadeem Carey, battling injury through most of the season.
Yeah, I mean, this Calgary team, when you think about, they don't have Bagleton tonight, lost Malik Henry early on defense, lost James Fodders, have not had Jalen Philpott all season long. You mentioned Kadeem Carey. It's been a tough one.
2nd and 9. Mayer on the run to his right, dumps it off to Carey for a 1st down for Calgary. Out to midfield, get him involved through the air for 14. How about that?
Well, Coach Mueller and Coach Dickinson, who are working the play calling together in this Calgary offense, I think they may have taken a peek at the TSN monitor and saw the stats for Kadeem Carey in the 1st quarter. Decide, okay, let's get 35 involved in the offense. That's back-to-back touches.
Kadeem Carey activated here by Calgary. Quarter number 2. Up to midfield, 1st and 10. Stretch it out for him again. And he'll take it down just inside the Rider 50.
The one thing about Kadeem Carey, I mean, it's the skill set, obviously, but he can take it to the house. He's physical, but it's the enthusiasm he brings to the team too. I mean, this is a guy who is always ready to go, always up, always head high. I mean, he inspires the rest of his teammates. You get him going. That's how they beat Toronto. Go back, they ran the ball well and had balance in the offense.
Still looking for his first touchdown of the season. Mayer down the field, this time incomplete, well over the head of Allen, who's working against Marshall. Seems like Allen might be a little bit confused about where that ball was headed.
Yeah, when you know, and this is Reggie Bagleton's spot. And you take a look at his route, and you're right. There's hesitation. He wants to get back to the corner, and Nick Marshall won't let him get back out there. Gonna look to the official like maybe he could get a call, but no, that was good coverage.
Grace hangs one up there. Alford watching, comes over, bobbles it. Friendly bounce right back up into his hands, and he's able to secure it for the Riders. They have a 3-0 lead on the road. A 5-game losing streak for the Riders led to a conversation with the boss, Jeremy O'Day, this week. For more on that, let's send it down to Bridgeport.
Yeah, he went to head coach Craig Dickinson and said, I want to speak to the team. His message, the 3 E's: energy, emotion, execution. He also told the team he was challenging them to have even better body language this week. Walk with your head up, and come out as a team. As well, Dolagala said, hey, when the GM walks in, the whole team's listening. It carries so much weight because he's been there, he's done that, he's the reason our butts are in these seats.
We'll see if they follow through on the 3 E's. This one will certainly help Jamal Morrow. All the way up to the 40. That's electric.
Well, that was all 3. I mean, you got the energy when Jamal Morrow took this football from Dolagala right here. You got the energy on that cut. You got the speed, you got the emotion, and the tremendous execution with some big blocks up front. Yeah, as a player, when the GM walks in the room, now you're talking about paychecks and careers.
Better be listening. Well, I like it. Have your head held high. Professional football player. Been in a bit of a slide, but get back on track. That'll work. Schaefer Baker breaks the tackle all the way down just outside the Calgary 40, and the Riders are marching here in the second quarter.
And keep in mind, Jeremy O'Day is a 3-time Cup champion. 97 in Toronto as a player. It's administration in 13, and so the 07 championship, and they are playing with more emotion than last week, that's for sure.
31 yards to Schaefer Baker. That's his longest play of the season. 1st and 10 from the Stamp 40. Dolagala quickly gets it away. Emilus hauls it in. 1st down, visitors.
Bringing in the extra backs and trying to max protect. And what that does is it allows some more time for Dolagala. However, it takes receivers out of the receiving corps. They cross Emilus all the way across the formation and do get him open. But when you bring in protection, you take away targets.
Dolagala, 8 of 11 for 106 yards as they try to march down towards the red zone. They'll give it back into the hands of Morrow. And he's bumped down, but not before a 1st down pickup. Judge Taylor in on the tackle.
That first game Jamal Morrow had against Calgary, Jamal Morrow had 22 carries for 133 yards. That's been his season high this year. So he's had success against the Calgary defense running the ball.
Got 9 there, 2nd and 1 from the 13. Pipkin into the game. Trying to pick up the 1st down. And looks like he got the job done. No drama on this one.
He played back in early summer, but this was Jamal Morrow's game in week 3. 22 carries, 133 yards. 4 times this season he's had over 15 carries. and he's averaging on those games just shy of 100 yards rushing.
So give him the ball. Is that what you're saying?
Trying to hint that way. That was the hint. Wink, wink.
First and 10 from the Calgary 12. Morrow again to the 5, to the end zone. Touchdown, Riders. Jamal Morrow does it again. 12-yard strike for 25.
What a cut by Jamal Morrow on the jump cut. He's right behind Dolagala in the formation, but watch when he gets the ball and he makes this jump cut and on a dime back inside on Muhammad, and it's untouched to the end zone.
Six carries, 53 yards, and a touchdown for Morrow. His 4th of the season. Pascal knocks it through. The lead is 10 for the Riders. Nice looking drive. Finished off right here by Jamal Morrow.
Well, against the run game, you look for where Micah Alway is first on the Calgary defense. Alway is on a blitz, so he gets eaten up there. So Dozier's the guy who's left on the edge to try and make the tackle. He's blocked by Thomas Bertrand Houdon, the fullback right there. But what a sweet cut by Jamal Morrow. I mean, you take a look at it from this angle, and Brad Muhammad is down there going, hang on, where's my shoes? I got to pick up my wristband. What happened?
Logan, a little bobble, able to secure, but no further on the far side of the field. 90 yards on 6 plays to find the end zone.
Yeah, and when you get Schaefer Baker with big second effort there, it was sort of an inspirational drive and started with a run from Jamal Morrow and ended with a run from Morrow.
But what do you got in response here if you're the Calgary Stampeders? Gotta have it. Biggest game of the year. Shut out through a quarter and a half. Jake Mayer has 61 passing yards so far in this ball game. Wants some more here. Down the field, won't get him. Akunavanu went to get it. Looks like it kind of snuck underneath him, working against Tremaine Washington.
Well, the timing was a little off on the throw, but Akunavanu's got to make this catch. I mean, again, when you're without Reggie Bagleton, your 1,000-yard receiver, the young guys in the group have got to step up and make it happen, and that's just a flat drop by Luther Akunavanu.
The absence of Bagleton certainly being felt for this offense so far. Riders are going to bring some pressure. Mayer hangs in there, gets it away, and that one in and out of the hands of Hunchak, who only has 6 catches on the season and some boo birds out at McMahon.
Well, one thing is that Hunchak on this, even if he catches it, he's not getting the first down, I don't think. He had Larry Dean closing in on it pretty quickly right there. If he makes that catch, I think he's tackled immediately. However, that's back-to-back drops by young guys who got to step up. Again, who's going to be the guy who picks up the Bagleton yards?
That kick just away. The Riders almost got it. Alford bobbles it, laying there, dives onto it, and Mario Alford. Did he save his own bacon here? He did. Got there just in time. Is the wind messing with these guys? Logan's bobbled a couple, and now Alford just misses it.
Right through the bottom of the basket there. Alford, 2 kick return touchdowns against Calgary in game 2 in a losing effort. Almost gave Calgary instant field position. Craig Dickinson having a chat. He said, I lost that one. Don't worry about that.
He's lucky he's so quick to hop on that loose ball. Speed pays off again. Riders now start on their own 21. 4 options, wide side right. Dolagala looks to the left, throws to the left, and a flag on the play. Moxie is incensed. did look like there was a little bit of contact there, as I believe it was Emilus who turned to try to come back for the ball.
Pass interference, Calgary number 2. It's a 10-yard penalty, automatic first down.
You don't see Moxie. He's just to the right of your screen. Cam Judge working in combination here. Judge is going to take the high guy. Moxie comes underneath.
Just a little shoulder.
Well, it was pretty good contact. It did rock him.
Golagala, far side. Emilus can't break the tackle. Moxie hangs on to him.
As you know, over the last couple of years, I'm trying to find an alibi for most defensive backs in those scenarios.
Oh, I've picked up on that.
However, it was pretty good contact. When you see the receiver kind of get bent over like Emilus was, kept the drive alive.
2nd and 6. Golagala looking down the field, tries to drop it in there. Baines got it. The former Calgary Stampeder comes up with a big one. Working against Kobe Williams, and Baines got it.
I'll tell you what, that's a warning track. That's a warning track catch. Over the shoulder. That's a tough catch to make. To first find the ball. Think about what Mary Alford just went through in trying to recover the kick in the lights at night. Over the shoulder. Great catch for 42 yards on Kobe Williams.
I'd like to welcome our viewers joining us on TSN4. Coming in from Sports Center. I'm sure the show is terrific. And you got here just in time. Morrow going to try to reverse things. Nowhere to go. Loss on the play.
Dave Dickinson and this Calgary defense need to stop right now, at least to limit this drive to a field goal. I mean, they can't let this game slip away from them, as you've mentioned a couple of times. They lose this, it's over. They're out of the playoffs, which is uncharted territory for Dave Dickinson and the Calgary Stampeders.
17 years?
Like, wow.
Long way to go here, but Suits is right. Use a big defensive stop. Go to Morrow, a stumble trying to stay on his feet. Awa is there to finish him off, and that takes us inside 3 minutes at McMahon, where the Stampeders are being blanked by the Riders.
Yeah, a few scary plays, which is fitting because it is Friday the 13th. We'll introduce you to my friends Davis and Matt and Jason, I think. Wow. You know, we did have a scarier mask. Davis was wearing a Dustin Nielsen mask. We'll see if we can put that back out. Pull it back out at halftime.
Oh, well played. Well played. I mean, I think I'm kind of handsome. That's a tough pill to swallow right there. Mescal hit one earlier from 34. This one from 38. And he's 2 for 2. That one right down the gut. Saskatchewan's last 3 possessions, field goal, touchdown, field goal. It's been punt city for Calgary so far in this game. Scary looking offense on Friday the 13th.
Yeah, there has been just a different pace for Saskatchewan the last couple of games, going back, in fact, to that Labor Day rematch. But Jake Mayer's got to get something going offensively. Got Kadeem Carey involved in the last series. A little bit of production there. And then a couple of drops.
61 yards in the air, 7 on the ground with Kadeem Carey. This time they go to Logan. He scrambles ahead for 4 yards right up the middle. Got to try to put together some sort of momentum. Really nice to at least knock in a field goal here before the end of the half.
There's your 1,000-yard receiver without his gear on. Calgary Stampeders, Reggie Bagleton. So important. Over 30 catches on second down.
Mr. Clutch.
That's where he'll be missed more than anything.
Mayer Gets it away, and that's batted down. Nice play by Nick Marshall as he comes around and makes sure Floyd Allen couldn't get his hands on that one.
That's his replacement, Begelton's replacement, and you got press coverage right there from Nick Marshall. Plays down, cuts underneath. You're always taking a bit of a gamble as a DB when you cut underneath the route like this, because if you miss it, the receiver catches it and he's got room to run, but he times it up nicely. That's a couple of plays now by Nick Marshall.
5th target of the game for Allen. That kick was dropped, got it away just in time, takes a high hop, and Alford will grab it at the 15. Mario Alford nowhere to go. Flag on the play as he steps out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. Cody Grace. Butterfingers.
Holding Saskatchewan number 26 while the ball was in flight. It's a 10-yard penalty from where the ball was caught. It's going to be first down.
Boy, he's lucky he got that away.
Yeah, you're right. A.J. Allen was right there. Just kicked it underneath his outstretched arms.
Still went for 51. Better than his 48 average on the season.
And a holding penalty will push the Riders back even further inside their own 10 here. So Dave Dickinson looking for a 2-and-out. Maybe a chance at some points to slow the Rider momentum going in at halftime.
Dolegala seems pretty comfortable so far in this game. Morrow, Dozier's there to stop him after he just got back past the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Dozier played the play here, and just sort of whatever pass coverage responsibility number 3 had in this, he just bailed on it and decided he was going to go to 25. Sometimes you just got to play the play.
Second tackle of the game for Dozier. Comes into the game, 54 tackles, couple of sacks, 5 knockdowns, couple of fumble recoveries, 3 tackles for a loss. Heavily involved in this offense. Empty backfield here for Dolegala. 2 options to the left. That's where he throws. Emilus was over there. Morrow was over there as well, but it falls incomplete, and Calgary will get the ball back with probably pretty decent field position.
I mean, think about that bobbled snap on the punt. That, you know, you just barely get away, or else it's a completely different scenario. And Cody Grace got it under the block, got the field position, and they should get a chance for points here, at least a field goal attempt, depending on where this return gets to by Peyton Logan.
Just the second 2-and-out of the ball game for the visitors at McMahon here tonight. Korsak will grab it, for some time, and run out of the end zone and surrender. A couple with 1:11 on the clock.
Well, here's been the difference. We talked about it at the change. This is on the road. You look at the points allowed by the Rider defense, the 4 road games. You're asking a young quarterback to score over 40 points to win games. You're, I think, asking too much, and maybe the turnover is the biggest story. Riders with 11 opponents in those games, just 2. So they're flipping that.
The safety touch has been scored. Saskatchewan will now kick off from their 20-yard line.
And that's why I'm, you know, I'm not surprised at the decision by Craig Dickinson, but you give up 2 because you're going to automatically put Calgary in basic field goal position for 3 and maybe more. However, the rules were changed 2 years back to move the kickoff after a safety to the 20. So Peyton Logan may get a return here anyway.
Yeah, I mean, if he can give you a return of 20 yards, you're going to be in a pretty good spot. He's averaging, and now he's been out of the lineup quite a bit. Conley Lewis has been handling most of the return duties, but Logan is averaging just over 20 yards per kick return this season.
And the Rider defense playing well in this first half.
Allen ends up taking it. And he'll be stopped shy of his own 50, but not bad field position for Jake Maier with 65 seconds on the clock.
So I guess it's a matter of guessing where that punt would have ended up. I would say it's another 15 to 20. So,
but you wouldn't have given up the 2 then.
No, exactly.
And
but Craig Dickinson now saying, okay, we'll give up the 2 because my defense playing so well. We keep them on the kickoff on their side of center. Get the 2 and out.
Well, let's just remember these 2 points. With the way that these games have gone this year between these 2 clubs, we might discuss that a little bit later on. 1st and 10 from the Calgary 48. Maier right down the middle. And laying out for it was Michel. Dalkey was there. And Martin Michel a little slow here to get up. He went after that, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He's in that slot back spot. It's a timing throw on the post route, and Jaden Dalkey's coming downhill. And there is not much of a window for Jake Maier to put this in. I mean, Larry Dean underneath. Pete Robertson had dropped. He was close, and Dalkey coming after it.
Maier could use the receiver to make a big play for him here. 2nd and 10. Has time. Checks it down. Heavy pop by Robertson, who is back there. Kadeem Carey is going to be marked about a yard shy of a 1st down.
So, is it a yard? And what does Dave Dickinson decide here? He's going to leave his offense out there. Maybe try and get the offside on the stagger count here.
3rd and 1. They're just going. Maier, complete 1st down, went right back to his running back, and Kadeem Carey found himself wide open.
And that tells you the importance of the game, and that Dave Dickinson down by the score he's down by. There's out the flat route from Kadeem Carey. He's going for it on 3rd down. He doesn't get it there. More points for the Riders before the half.
Kadeem Carey leads the team in receiving yards so far in this game. Maier has that one bounce away from Martin Michel. Tremaine Washington making the play.
I'll tell you what, with these DBs for the Riders, Jason Shire's got them fired up. I know the clinch a playoff spot is all the motivation you really need. I mean, the coaches really just had to open the door in the locker room for this one tonight, but this is the best I've seen the Riders secondary play in probably the last month and a half collectively.
Possibly say that about the offense a little bit too. 2nd and 10 from the 45. Maier, Michel with some space, turns it inside the 40. Trying to hang on to that football, and that will be blown down short of a 1st down.
But field goal range.
Into field goal range, so
the 2 giving up on the safety, possibly with Rene Paredes coming out, turns into 5. But if you punt it, and there's another 15 yards of real estate, it may have gone from 3 to a major.
That's what, I'm trying to, it's kind of like meet in the middle. You know, probably would have given up 3, could have given up 7. In the end, you give up 5 if Paredes ends up knocking this through, and that is way too much late quarter math for me here on a Friday night.
And we'll get our calculators out at halftime and figure this out.
Paredes has it up, and it is good. Sneaks it in, so Calgary sneaks in 5 points late. And all of a sudden, we have an 8-point ball game between the Dickinson brothers here at McMahon. Really intriguing 1st half here between these 2 clubs. Jamal Morrow, an excellent 1st half.
Picking up where he left off a week ago. Jamal Morrow, again, the best player on offense for the Riders in a game and a half, back-to-back. 58 yards rushing in the 1st half, so he's off to a good start. Nothing for Kadeem Carey in the 1st half for Calgary in the 1st quarter, but he picked it up in the 2nd.
Well, they got him through the air. He leads Calgary in receiving yards so far in this game. Jamal Morrow, excellent on the other side, and he's with our Brittor.
Well, Jamal, you guys talked about energy, emotion, execution. I'm going to give you another E. How do you evaluate that first half?
I mean, that was a great start for us. We continue to, motivate each other and keep up with that energy, but it's all about closing this game out. So we're worried about the next 2 quarters and can come out with that same energy and execute how we did this first half.
Well, we know what's on the line tonight for yourself, 58 yards rushing in that first half. You also found the end zone. How does it feel knowing what's at stake?
I mean, it was win or go home. So, I mean, we knew what we had to execute as a team, and how we came out last week wasn't acceptable. So it's for us to come out here and to finish this game and get us into the playoffs.
All right, we'll have a great second half.
Thank you.
Back to Farhan and the panel.
Thank you very much, guys. We're talking off air about an interesting decision by Craig Dickinson to give up the safety there. Maybe Big Brother trying to help Little Brother. I don't know. Maybe there's some sort of Thanksgiving leftovers or early Christmas gift. Who knows? But it brought the Stampeders to within 1 score, and their offense hasn't been doing anything. 88 net yards offensively for Calgary in that first half, which is really what we've seen for a while from Jake Mayer and company, Davis.
Yeah, let's give some credit to the SAS defense. They looked like the steel curtain coming out of the locker room today. And they talked about the broadcast, the fact that, this will be a motivated bunch. And obviously Jason Shivers has these guys going. And Jake Mayer's been under siege since the snap. And I don't know, guys, if you've seen the same thing I'm seeing, they're not getting the ball downfield at all. 0 shots down the field, or very few at that. And my question is this a protection issue? Because the run game, they also can't rush the ball. So there might be a protection issue, but Jake Mayer does not look comfortable. They're not getting the ball downfield. Everything is short. Everything is, there's not threat. They're not threatening the defense at all. They're not getting the D-backs off their heels. I'm really shocked at what I've seen in this Calgary offense, because coming in this game, I expected a big performance. I expected them, to seize this moment and do something, and they're not.
Yeah, even without Reggie Begelton, you expect him to play much better. Maybe we talked about it, establishing line of scrimmage with Kadeem Carey. 2 touches in that first half out of the backfield, trying to establish the line of scrimmage against this defense. I think that's really a miss there right there. But I can say this. Calgary's situation right now is, in my opinion, more dismal than their cohorts in north of them in Edmonton. I really think Edmonton's got more momentum going on right now than this football team. Like 2 ships sailing right past each other. I think Edmonton's heading in the right direction and Calgary is not. And certainly Saskatchewan has been all over them. And they had to. Jason Shivers, his defense woke up here and playing on the road in a must-win situation. You heard Jamal talk about it. To me, it's a situation where, hey, they understand the situation. I don't think Calgary does. I think Calgary's a football team that is already checked out and got their bags packed.
Right. Well, they still have a chance, but as you mentioned, the way they came out in that first half, I thought they would come out with more energy. We saw Saskatchewan come out, and they were like, okay, we're going to stop this 5-game losing streak. Yes, we've been getting ran over, or we're going to stop this. And Calgary has to look at their situation like, you're 4-11, and you still have an opportunity to make the playoffs.
Control your own destiny.
They didn't come out like that. They don't care that they're going to be on the wrong side of history. This is a franchise that has made the playoffs 17 straight years. Your head coach has never missed the playoffs, and this is how you come out. And I know you're missing some of your key players, but you're a professional athlete. Regardless who's on your team, regardless who's hurt, who's not, you're expected to go out there and play hard and play well. In this first half, they just haven't shown enough. But as I alluded to, they still have a chance. They're not out of this game. They still have an opportunity to come out here and win this game, but they have to play some better ball.
This used to be a team that plugged and played better than anybody in the Canadian Football League, and no matter who was in the lineup, people were stepping up. I don't see that same type of production and certainly ability from this football team right now.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got one team doing what it needs to in Saskatchewan, the other kind of what the record says they are. Meanwhile, earlier tonight, it was a fantastic game in Hamilton. We will find out a bit more about Vernon Adams and his injury status from the Lions' win over Hamilton when we come back.
We don't know the words, so we're all just singing. La 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 la, la 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 la, everybody la 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 la. Big boom in the room, can't handle us. It's that kind of night. Walk like this tonight. Everybody drip drip to the max. Big boom in the room, can't handle us. It's that kind of night. Drink that fire dry, 'cause all the girls don't need the guys. We don't know the words, so we're all just singing.
Guys, I know we're talking about this as being a playoff game. The early game certainly felt like one. BC with a final second 33-30 win. Sean White kicks the field goal as time expires. 5 lead changes in the second half alone. 4 quarterbacks, including one Vernon Adams, who left this game with an injury. He's standing by with Matthew Shinetti.
VA, the question on everyone's mind in this country is, how are you feeling?
Man, God is good, man. I'm good. I'm blessed. I'm grateful, man. It's my same MCL from earlier in the season. I don't know what happened, if I took a knee or a helmet. I don't know what it was, but it was on that silly interception I threw. But I think I'm gonna be good. I'll be good.
I saw your teammates coming up to you. I saw Keon Hatcher come up to you. What was the message, knowing that everything that's on the line going forward in the season that you've had?
Yeah, all my boys just told me, man, they didn't think I was looking right, and they just told me basically, hey, we got playoffs, we need you for the playoffs and things like that. And I knew Dane was gonna go in there. He's been locked in all week, and I'm just so happy for Dane, man, to come out here, game-winning drive. Whitey's been amazing all year, man, best kicker. And yeah, like I said, happy for Dane, happy for this team, man. We fought to the end against a great Hamilton team.
We talked about it yesterday, the feelings after that loss to Winnipeg. To see you guys bounce back in the way you did, completely as a team, how does that help you guys going forward?
Man, we want to be playing at our best, going into playoff football. And that's a playoff team, man, so it's not going to be easy. We knew we was going to be throwing punches back and forth and things like that. And, I'm just happy we finished. Last week, we were up 10 at the half, and we didn't finish. I'm just glad we finished this week.
Thanks for that.
Man, thank you. God bless. Go Lions.
Well, that sounds promising. Also promising, more CFL action tomorrow. We have got Montreal in Edmonton. That kicks off at 4 o'clock Eastern, followed by Ottawa and Toronto. So a heavy, heavy weekend of CFL football. A couple more games tomorrow before things wrap up next week. And when we come back, Jamal Morrow looks to climb his way towards 100 yards, 58 in that first half, along with a touchdown. Halftime stats when we come back. Let's take a look at the halftime stats, Matt. It really does look like a much more one-sided game than a one-score game, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does. And you take care of the football. You have high completion percentage throws, which Dolagala's been doing. You establish the line of scrimmage. Good things are going to happen. This football team's playing like they want to be in the playoffs.
I know Milt doesn't believe it, but anything can happen second half coming up from Calgary.
Shut up, Farhan.
Calgary Stampeders at home facing a must-win situation, and they trail 13-5. Head coach Dave Dickinson is with Britt Torp.
Well, Dave, I know we don't have to tell you, season on the line. What are you telling your guys to get them motivated for the second half?
We got to play better. It's been a consistent theme, but, time for action. Quit talking, do it.
Well, we've seen Saskatchewan really rely on their run game here tonight. What do you need to see from your defense to stop it here?
We need better tackling, but I think it's the offense. The offense is not doing their part. So we need to grow up. We got to find some guys that are professionals, and we got to see it this last half.
Thanks, Dave. Have a good second half.
Thank you.
Got to grow up and find some guys who are professionals.
Yeah, I mean, Jake Mayer was under a ton of pressure, had a couple of drops. That ended drives. And I think that message from Dave Dickinson was directed right at his young players, the Colton Hunchaks, the Luther Akunabanus, without Begelton in the lineup. These young guys got to grow up quickly.
Somebody step up, go at it. I'm a little surprised that Odom's Dukes only has 2 targets in this game. He's got both of them. He caught them both. That's a guy who has shown some flashes like he might be able to step up in a game like this, but targeted just twice so far. We'll see if Jake Mayer looks to get him involved a little bit more in the second half. Riders will take the football to start the third quarter. And into the hands of Mario Alford. It goes on a chilly Friday night at McMahon. And another tackle for Kellen Thomas. He's having a great night on special teams. That's his third of the game.
Well, you mentioned Trey Odom's Dukes in that first half. Jake Mayer coming on. Excuse me, Jake Dolagala coming on. He did have time, and he did have time and some targets to get that ball out there. And we got two Jakes playing quarterback tonight. And he had some catches from his receivers. Even that catch from Sam Emelis, he took a big hit on it. Got some yak yards out of it.
Sean Bain, 68 yards and 4 catches. Dolagala this time forced to take off and try to turn this thing upfield. Holloway, among others, in on the tackle.
But in the first half, it started with Jamal Morrow and getting that run game going, and his over halfway to a 100-yard game. Success on first down, manageable second down situation, staying on the field and keeping Jake Mayer on the sideline.
Heard from some Riders fans during the week saying, oh, funny, get Morrow going. The offense starts to look a little bit better. They got him going so far here. Dolagala in the pocket, trying to scramble away. Bit of a stumble on the run. Guns it into Emelis. Stays on his feet. First down. Probably not how they drew it up, but it works.
Looked like the first check down option was Jamal Morrow, who was up in the line here looking like he might try and pick up a blitz. He doesn't see anyone, so he releases it, and looked like Jake Dolagala wanted him there. Then he had to scramble out to his left. He finds Emelis, and how about those yards after catch for a new set of downs?
The play goes for 17, up to the Rider 48. Now to Morrow. Right up the middle, broke a couple of tackles, and we stopped just over a yard short of another first down for Saskatchewan.
Having Peter Godber in the middle, I mentioned him off the top, number 51, right in front of Jake Dolagala. Watch the block as he slides to the nose. He takes Derek Wiggin. If you can plug up Derek Wiggin up there, you give your back a chance. He's a run stopper in the middle. One of the best in the game and most underrated is Wiggin. You get a block on him, you get things started in your run game.
Pipkin into the game. Second and a long one. And this will be close. We'll have to wait and see where this ball is spotted. It wasn't an automatic, that's for sure. Continue to take a look at it.
Depending on how close it is, they can go again.
And they will. Looks like Pipkin got to the sideline and they sent him right back in.
So that's quarterback sneak right against 97. 8-year veteran. 4th round draft pick back in 2014. 34th overall by the Calgary Stampeders. And what a great teammate number 97 is.
Stabilize the inside of your defensive line for close to a decade. Another crack at it here for Pipkin. This time, job's done. First down for the Riders.
Instead, looking at the analytics and just looking at some of the stats on the short yardage, Saskatchewan Roughriders have had third down short yardage plays like that last one 35 times this year. Converted on 28 of them, so there's been 7 that they missed. I just thought 35. Most teams on third down and short yardage situations have 14, 15. It's kind of like the average for most teams. Riders have been in that situation 35. Well, that was 36.
Big analytics guy. I like it. Diving into the numbers.
Down. He got it.
Dolagala in the pocket, flushed out again. This time he's going to have to take off. Braces for contact. Dozier takes him down. He might have a first down here. Just shy of 10, and it'll be another short situation.
Dozier closes quickly here, but Dolagala, he's a big guy. I mean, 6'7", 240, and can run. He gets out here. It looked like he kind of lost a way to slide. Like he was trying to find an open area to hook slide, but closed down quickly.
2nd and inches. Pipkin, keep this offense on the field. He's got it.
A nice drive here. They decide to take the ball third quarter after giving up those 5 points late. And now they put together an 8-play drive to set the tone here the second half.
On first down, you think Brett Monson may have to go with some more run blitz. That gets Micah Allway up close to the line of scrimmage. Maybe even bring Cameron Judge closer to the line of scrimmage to help to stop the run and get Joel Agala in the second and long situation. But when you do that, this area right here opens up pretty good in the passing game.
Jamal Morrow stands in there to the left of his quarterback. Low snap. Golagala gets it away quickly to Bain. And Bain's got his 5th catch of the ball game for about half of what they needed here.
Interesting to see what the range that Craig Dickinson is comfortable with Mescal, the new kicker, playing tonight.
Well, he's 100% on the season so far. Right?
He would have the wind at his back here for sure. Pretty gusty. Starting to die down maybe a little bit. This one batted at the line, up in the air. Is that Kellen Thomas again? Is having a great special teams evening and making a play here as well.
And the Okanagan Sun, blitz coming from the safety spot. I think it was Nick Taylor coming up there. Right off the edge, here comes the safety and Taylor. And the knockdown off the edge, unblocked, was Thomas.
Ryan Mescal. 3rd field goal attempt of the game. He's 2 for 2. This one from 43. And that one is up. And he gets the job done again. In on short notice for Brett Lothar. And he's perfect so far. The Canadian broadcasting industry has lost a great friend and colleague. Sean Dunham passed away last week after a courageous battle with cancer. Working NHL, CFL, World Juniors, and Olympics, Shawnee was the main camera that captured the memories and highlights that'll be immortalized in sports. Originally from Mahone Bay, Nova Scotia, Sean made Edmonton his home. Our deepest condolences to his wife, Linda, sons, TJ and Tarek, and their families. He was loved by many and will be missed by all. Just under 9 minutes remaining here in the quarter. Markin Michel can't stay on his feet. TJ Rivas was there to make the play. Second and 12.
No surprise that Markin Michel is the target out of the gate. I'm sure that conversation with Jake Mayer with Dave Dickinson at halftime was, hey, we've got some veteran guys out there. If the young guys aren't going to pick it up, start looking for them.
7 punts on 8 possessions in a must-win. Flags here. And this will be against the Calgary Stampeders.
Procedure, Calgary, number 67. It's a 5-yard penalty. We'll replay second down.
First penalty of the game against the Stampeders. It's the left guard, Zach Williams, his 4th season out of the University of Manitoba. Reggie Begelton watching on. When you look at receivers across this league, some guys putting up huge season, Winnipeg, BC, but they've got other guys there. Yeah. Begelton is kind of everything in the offensive air attack for the Stampeders, and just huge to not have him out there with what's on the line tonight. Who can step up here? 2nd and 17 for Mayer. Dumps it off to Carey, who had the most receiving yards in the first half. That's your running back relying on heavily in the passing game.
You can see the work that Larry Dean's going to do here. He's show blitz, but he's going to drop out of there, and then he rotates back here, and then it's going to be dumped off to Kadeem Carey. So once he's done all that rotation and dropping, now he's got to come up and break down and get involved in the tackle, hold him short of the first down. Calgary's kicker.
And Grace gets this one away just in time again. Alford, 51-yard kick, trying to find some space. Don't let him get free.
Oh!
Pops out! What happened there? It bounced right up into the hands of Charlie Power. And the Calgary Stampeders are on it. Wow, what a turn of events.
The break the Stamps needed. If this stands, I'm not sure if Alford was down or not. They're talking about it.
There's a peek at it. Oh, that's close.
I don't know. He had the left hand down, but that's not down by contact.
Welcome back to Friday Night Football. Here's what we were looking at. Mario Alford, was he down before that ball came out? It was ruled a fumble on the field. Let's get the ruling down on the field right now.
Upon further review, automatic review by the command center, the ruling on the field stand. It's first down for Calgary.
Fumble by Mario Alford. Darius Taylor yanking out, and now Calgary gifted a red zone opportunity. Mayer throwing to the end zone, broken up. Was looking for the veteran Markin Michel. Deontay Williams in his back pocket.
Just trying to get this timing quick slant to Markin Michel. Been the #1 target. Still not many touches for Carey, especially on the sudden change. I mean, you can go run the ball, let your old line lean on that front hand and get out of their stance to go find somebody to block. Calgary elects to throw it in 2nd and 10.
2 for 12 on 2nd down. Mayer looking down the field again towards the end zone, and they're in. Touchdown, Calgary. First in the career for Floyd Allen. Into the lineup for Reggie Begelton and into the end zone.
Mario Alford had such a big game back in the summer against Calgary with 2 returns for a touchdown. That fumble tonight just opened the door for Calgary, and they just walked through it.
That's pretty impressive.
Gizmo-like.
So Floyd Allen had a big drop earlier in the game, redeems himself there, and we asked who is going to step up in the absence of Reggie Begelton. And Floyd Allen has now been targeted 6 times, has himself a touchdown. Now it's a 5-point ball game. Could go for 2 to try to make it a 3-point ball game.
That's really early. I think you take the momentum, you take the point, you take the 7.
And that is what they will do. 16-12. Calgary's offense, courtesy of fumble from Mario Alford, finally has some life. We've got a great finish here in the second half of Friday Night Football.
The Allen touchdown, little change motion here. Markin Michel going here. Allen coming inside, and now he's going to work on Micah Tights. Gets inside, and Tights has got to keep his inside position on this coverage. And that jump right there now loses leverage. There's inside. Unless there's a safety close by, Tights is in trouble. He either has to grab and draw a penalty flag, or they open up the touchdown throw, and Reggie Begelton first to congratulate Floyd Allen on his first TD.
Got to make you feel pretty good. Mario Alford looking to bounce back after that fumble, hangs on to the ball this time. And we'll see how the Riders deal with their first bit of adversity in this ball game.
Well, most important after the challenge or mistake like that is on a fumble is to stop the momentum, have an answer, even a few first downs, and a change of the field position can get it back for Craig Dickinson's group.
Dolagala, 12 of 17 for 171 yards through the air so far in this game. He'll give it to Morrow, makes a couple of men miss, spins ahead, falls towards the first down marker, and he's got it 11 yards. Jamal Morrow looking great.
putting a lot of isolation on that backside defensive end, whether it's Julian Hauser or sometimes it's Mike Rose. That time it was Hauser. Hauser, if he goes down too tight, he's going to open up the edge for Morrow. We've seen that cut a couple of times tonight where he's got outside in the blink of an eye.
77 yards in the game for Morrow. Stands in there next to his quarterback again. They'll give it to him again. He's got a little bit of space. Wrapped up by Hauser this time after a pickup of 5.
Yeah, see, and this is again the same isolation on Hauser. So Hauser's here now inside with the fullback out there, and he's going to slide down. That gives Morrow a little extra chance, or a little extra time to get up in the hole, because he's been beat outside a couple of times, so he's a little bit late. Still makes the tackle, but not until Morrow picks up half the way to the first down.
Emilus slides in behind his quarterback. Now at the top of your screen. Pressure coming from the safety. Dolagala gets it away. Held on to by Stearns. First down, Riders. That was Nick Taylor coming down Main Street there at Dolagala.
We showed you Brent Munson, the defensive coordinator. He's starting to, I won't say panic at this point, but he's starting to pull out more of the stops. He's bringing the safety, Nick Taylor. That's a few times. Dolagala recognizes it. He gets us out to his blitz breaker, and that's the curl route. That's just a hot route. You see blitz and no safety, turn around at 12 yards. We'll give it to you.
Second catch of the game for Stearns. Now it's the rookie Hudon barreling ahead. Popped off the helmet of Taylor. Now is the ball out, and multiple flags, and the officials have a few things to sort out here. It's Thomas Bertrand Hudon's first touch of the night. He's actually averaging 7.9 yards per carry on 12 carries prior to that this season.
Okay, I'm just going to say it. This is a 4-point game. This is a playoff game. Calgary loses this game. They're out of the playoffs. Saskatchewan loses control of their own destiny. If they lose this game, you cannot get an after-the-whistle penalty in this type of game. I don't care what the reason is. I don't care what the guys do. You just can't do it. We'll see if this is offsetting or who gets it, but too much on the line.
He was clearly down before Muhammad kind of just yanked that ball out of there for fun, basically, at the end of the play. And then that's when things started to get a little bit heated. The official crew comes together. Ben Major calling the shots as referee. Dickinson watching on, knowing what's on the line for his team.
The ruling on the field is the runner is down by contact. Okay? The flag for illegal participation by Calgary 28 is moot because the runner was down. However, we have misconduct foul, 15-yarders against Calgary. We're going to go up 15 yards. It's going to be first down.
I believe it was on Muhammad.
Well, he was in the pushing match with Hudon, and again, it doesn't matter. It's often the retaliation that gets called for these penalties. The legal participation was Nick Taylor. His helmet came
by the
off.
command center, there are two misconduct fouls that balance each other out.
Okay, wow. They're going to give
27
one to each.
Calgary, 61 Saskatchewan. So it's going to be second down. It's going to be second down.
All right, so that comes in late. Brandon Council, if the number was correct, and Muhammad. Take one more look at it here before we move on.
So Council throws both of them to the ground. Calgary's lucky that they got offsetting.
And yada, 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 2nd and 3 is where we're at.
No, I mentioned
Morrow. Kicks it to the outside, can't get past Judge. What a tackle by the second-year Stampeder.
Yeah, it was a great one. We had a great talk with Dolagala about Cam Judge and playing against him. And he just flows to the outside and beats the block from Logan Ferland to make a huge tackle to hold him to a 3rd down shot here. When we talked to Dolagallo about Cam Judge, he said, man, the guy is athletic. He gets the spots you never expect him.
3rd and 2. Offense stays on the field. They're going to go for it. They give it to Morrow, trying to push ahead. Calgary looking to stop him, and I think they did. Jamal Morrow needed 2 yards, and he does not get it. Turnover on downs. Riders, the worst turnover ratio in the Canadian Football League. This time on downs.
Big stop by Calgary. Cameron Judge gets it started. He goes one-on-one with Brandon Council. The right tackle stands him up. And then Mike always scrapes to it with help from safety Nick Taylor. This is a big play on 3rd and 2. I'm wondering if Craig Dickinson is thinking, looking back on that decision and thinking about field position and the momentum he just gave the Calgary Stampeders, although Moore was running well.
Yeah, he was. Just, it's tough when you're going anywhere in the direction of Mike Holloway this season. He's got 9 tackles in this game already tonight.
Covered me on that. I was like, no! And I'm like, Cam, that's linebacker duo in the league, man.
Holloway and Judge. Dynamic duel there.
Won't get an argument from me.
1st and 10 after the turnover from the Calgary 44. Kadeem Carey. Oh, boy, Deontay Williams gave him a pop, and he stayed up. Dalkey came in and eventually finished him, but the physicality level of this game is being cranked up a notch.
Oh, baby, it is. It is. Coming off this side. Kadeem Carey, we were talking about getting him involved, but how about that now? Just Williams lowers his pad level. He steps up in run support, takes that hit, turns Carey back around, and then wraps him up and pulls him down.
Just the 3rd carry of the game for Kadeem. Stands in there to the left of his quarterback right now. Jake Mayer looks to the right. Now progresses down the middle. Throws one down in the middle. Mark and Michelle waiting for it. No! Broken up. C.J. Rivas got there just in time. Michelle was waiting for it into his arms, and he couldn't hang on.
Well, Jake Mayer had a guy in his face, which is why he didn't get enough on the deep throw that he wanted. He's got pressure from Larry Dean up the middle and Micah Johnson. That takes Mark and Michelle back to come back for the football. You see, he's in behind Rivas there, but he has to come back, and then he just drops it. He had a chance, and I don't think Rivas touched it.
His kick away once again just in time. And that one will bounce out on the far side of the field after a 38-yard kick.
You heard Dustin Dave Dickinson at halftime tell Britt on the sideline, we need some of our young guys to grow up quickly here. And when you're wondering why this offense is stalled, chances, some of them are tough catches, but in a game of this magnitude, you got to make them. And there's drops in the first half. And now one that Mark and Michelle, who's not exactly a rookie in his 4th year, puts on the ground.
Turnover the other way. It's Cam Judge. What is happening here in McMahon? The Stampeders go on top. A gift from Dolagallo. Touchdown, Calgary.
Mentioned Dolagallo in our conversation this week, talking about Cam Judge's athleticism. Doesn't have to move far this time. In fact, he should be right in the vision of Jake Dolagallo as he drops underneath this second in route. He must have thought he was going to sit on the first one. He didn't. He went past it to the second and takes it back to the house.
34-yard pick six for Judge. It's his 4th interception of the season. Weren't we just saying the dynamic duel? Holloway and Judge. Another one knocked through by Paredes. And Calgary goes on top in a must-win by
three late in the third quarter.
Two routes here for Jake Dolegala, and I think he was going to sit on, he thought Judge would sit on this one. And there's another one from Emelis. Judge is going to go past the first one to the second one, and Jake Dolegala doesn't see it. So here comes Bain. He sits in the first curl. Judge sits there for a split second and then slides it out. Now, the two receivers are too tight. They got to widen out and have more separation between the two of them. However, Jake Dolegala should have seen number 4. It was right in his line of vision.
Well, with what we've seen from these two teams already this season, should this really be a surprise with the way that this game is shaping up? The answer is no. They played two thrillers, and we're settling in for another one here. There they are again.
Whoa! Good stick.
You look at what's happened here. Fumble from Mario Alford. The special teams and defense have gotten Calgary back into this football game. Alford up the middle, found one block, one of his better returns of the night. And the Riders will start with the ball just inside their own 45.
Well, the Riders might say that it was 2 mistakes by Saskatchewan that has opened the door for Calgary. Rider fans may be thinking that way. The turnover from Mario Alford, yes, that was a mistake, but that was a cause fumble, not a mistake by Alford. And then the decision by Craig Dickinson to go for it on 3rd and 2, didn't get it. Calgary gets a field position change and then a pick 6.
Riders once led this game 13-0. Dolegala down the field. Big catch there. They needed that one, and Picton goes and gets it.
I think Dolegala needed that one. More than anybody on the field, Dolegala needed to throw a strike right after the pick 6 so you can flush the mistake and come right back and sling it. We've seen Vernon Adams have a great season doing just with that mentality, and talk to Dolegala this week about it. Hey, it's all on the line now. Just let it go.
Up to the Calgary 52. Dolegala near sideline, and that is held onto by Sean Bain. A discussion from the officials. Got a foot down. Another big one for Bain.
Officials are calling it a catch. We get a little change motion. Emelis and Bain, and a wheel route from Bain, who's got his foot down in bounds. Now, if that's simultaneous, it looks like Moxie has his, or excuse me, Kobe Williams has his hands wrapped around it. That goes to the offense anyway, but Bain had control with his foot in bounds.
Up to the Calgary 27. Dolegala, pressure in his face, in trouble, and he'll be taken down. Who else? Mike Rose, number 11 on the season.
Working on Logan Ferland. He's going to be right here. He come around the corner. Not much time for Dolegala to go through his reads here. Now, the timing was off because there was supposed to be a play-action run to Jamal Morrow. That didn't happen, so it didn't freeze Mike Rose at all. He just got into pass rush mode.
Dolegala cannot get away. Rose gobbles him up. Excellent fourth quarter finish on the way on Friday Night Football. Well, welcome back to McMahon, where things have officially heated up. The Stampeders leading 19-16, 14 points off turnovers in the third quarter.
When you look at that right column, the Calgary Stampeders statistics offensively, and then look at the score, it doesn't jive at all.
Five first downs.
Yeah, absolutely. It was Saskatchewan really dominating in a lot of categories, but they opened the door with a couple of small mistakes that Calgary has taken advantage of. You mentioned the 14 points off turnover.
Interesting to see what these two teams have learned from the head-to-head together in the two previous meetings.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to see down to the wire here. By the way, you having any fun yet?
No, not at all. A real snooze fest here in McMahon. Dolegala looking to answer back. 2nd and 14, though. He's going to move some pieces around here prior to getting this ball from Godber.
But he's in field goal range.
Three-man pressure, dumps it off to Morrow. Can they find some blockers for him? Morrow on the near side, forced out of bounds by Roberson. And as you mentioned, they are in field goal range. And Mescal is 3 for 3 and will come out with a chance to tie this game at 19.
Yeah, that's why I'm not surprised by the decision, the call, and the execution. That swing pass to Jamal Morrow, he's been running hard tonight. If he can make it happen, yes. If not, you're in field goal range, a chance to tie it up.
What a night, what an opportunity for Mescal, playing in just his second game in the Canadian Football League. This from 31 yards. 3 for 3 so far in the game. None bigger than this one to tie it early in the fourth quarter. It is up, and Mescal has been money for the Riders in place of Brett Rother on short notice.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is what's on the line here tonight for Craig Dickinson. They win or tie, the Saskatchewan Roughriders take the final playoff spot. There's management upstairs. I would say they're on the edge of their seat. And for Calgary, they get the win tonight. They can then control their own destiny with 2 games to go left in the regular season. Now it's BC and Winnipeg. They've got work to do.
Yeah. But
they now have control if they get the win tonight, because they can win out. The Riders only have 1 game left after this one.
Drama in the playoff race out west here in the Canadian Football League. Jake Mayer dumps it off to his running back, Kadeem Carey. That's one of his better carries, actually, of the night. 14 points off turnovers. You look at what was scored here from a touchdown perspective for Calgary. A pick 6 by Judge, and they finish it off from the 12 on a Mario Alford turnover. So the offense still really hasn't done too much tonight. Just 110 yards passing against Shivers' defense. 2nd and 4. Mayer, 3 options out to his left. Back on the ground to Kadeem Carey. DeMarcus Christmas is there to shut that down, and it'll be a 3rd down for the Stampeders.
Well, DeMarcus Christmas knows on this run play that he has contained help from Larry Dean here. So he doesn't have to worry about Kadeem Carey bouncing to the outside. He just crashes down and is right there to shut the door.
I don't like Kadeem Carey's chances against DeMarcus Christmas, 6'3", 302 out of Florida State. 3rd and 3. Cody Grace back in. Riders have been close to blocking a couple tonight. We'll see if he can get this one away cleanly. Just did. End over end through the air, bouncing at the 21. All the way back up and eventually be hopped on by Saskatchewan and clear, no flag on that play. Dolagala in a tie game on the road. We've all been living in Wiggins' world for the past 8 seasons for more on one of the more underrated players in the league. Let's send it down to Bridgor.
An underrated player that went noticed. He actually was the team's recipient of the President's Ring Award, which is a voted-on award from his teammates for guys that demonstrate excellence on and off the field. Just to give you a little taste, somebody like Henry Burris was actually the recipient of this award before. He said, I actually will point right to my teammates and my coaches for getting me and being the player that I am here today. Typical humble guy that he is. He also talked, though, a little bit about trying to stop the Riders on offense here when we talked to him this week. He said, you know, when it comes tomorrow, we have to take him off his game. We need to be gap sound. He takes a whole team effort out there to gang tackle him. And we're showing it here tonight that Morrow's not making it easy on him, guys.
Yeah, I asked Derek Wiggin, finish this sentence for me, Derek. You beat the Riders if you do what? He goes, stop Morrow. Stop Morrow.
Well, Morrow's at 84 yards and 14 carries, has a touchdown. I think it's been a pretty good battle so far.
Other
winners getting his.
Other winners of President's Ring, John Helton, Willie Burden, another great interior D lineman, Joe Fleming.
We have 4 penalties on the last play. Wow. The first one is a 15-yard, no yard against Calgary 44. Then we have 2 separate misconduct fouls, both 15-yarders, against Calgary 46. That means he's disqualified from the remainder of the game. Then we also have a 15-yard misconduct foul against Saskatchewan 17. We're going to go up 30 yards from the point of application. It's going to be first down for Saskatchewan.
Charlie Power ejected from the game. Jackson Ford flagged on the other side. There's Power, who recovered that Alford fumble. And now this ball has been moved all the way up to the Calgary 49. After the punt and the penalties, it's a net of 2 yards. Might as well have just walked over and handed the ball to them.
It's just, try and find it, but it was well after the play, it seemed. It was almost like maybe something was said.
It was definitely after the play, because there was the no yards flags, and then right at the end, another flag comes out, where it's 46.
Okay, so that's no yards, the first flag. To your right of your screen there's something going on with Power, with Corte Moore, and then Power over there with A.J. Allen. Again, it looked like more of what was said than what was done. Either way,
wow. Riders in business again, courtesy of some undisciplined play. Morrow, nowhere to go. Dozier, kind of the forgotten man in this group with Alway and Judge today, but Dozier makes the play there. And now more late flags. Oh boy, unraveling. Here are the Calgary Stampeders.
Coach Dickinson is getting
After
those
the play,
guys
we
off
have
the
a misconduct foul, 10-yard penalty against Calgary 44. It's going to be first down for Saskatchewan.
Silas Stewart. And Calgary is just shooting themselves in the foot over and over and over.
That is 45 free yards for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. We'll take a look at what Stewart does here. He's getting blocked and he gets kicked out. It's on the left of your plays over. Ball blown dead, and he smacks the arm of Morrow. And Dickinson got him to the bench. He'll sit there with the coach for a bit.
Just can't have that at this stage of this ball game.
Well, it just gave him field goal range.
Yeah.
That was 45 yards.
I'm trying to think, we've done a lot of games this year. I can't remember 45 yards being gifted on penalties in a stretch like this. Now, if you're the Riders, field goal would be great. You'd love to take advantage of having half the field essentially handed to you on a drive.
No question. Chance to grab this game big time for Saskatchewan if they can punch in a major here.
Dolegala 16 of 22, 225 yards, no touchdown, unless you count the one he threw into the hands of Judge on the other side of the ball. Now play is blown down just before this ball was snapped. Whistle from the officials. Trying to decipher what exactly is going on here.
Well, they have to reset the first down markers and make sure that the field position is correct.
The correction on the spot. It's going to be second down and half a yard to go. Second down.
So they just try to get exactly where they are. Second down in inches. Make sure the markers on the sideline are correct. And when you've got that many penalties in that short of time, you need the calculator, and you can see Ben Major with the notepad.
Notepad's getting filled up quickly here in the second half. I remember in the first quarter when our producer said, no flags, we're moving along. Here's Pipkin. Into the game, first down, Riders. Interesting to see how Calgary refocuses. Like, no matter what happens the rest of the way on this drive, don't become even more unraveled.
Well, that's where Michael Alway, that's where Cam Judge, the veterans, Trey Roberson, I mentioned off the top, been on and off the last month and a half just because of injuries, but those are where the veterans have to settle it down. John Huffnagel's up in the booth. He's been through this before. The headset on. Don't see that often from the president, head guy.
Dolegala, miscommunication there. Emelis had turned. Coming out, Dolegala was looking further down the field, and it falls incomplete, 2nd and 10. Injured Calgary Stampeder down on the field as well. It's Muhammad trying to get up, but unable to do so at this point. The staff will come out and take a look at him. Lower body is what it appears to be.
Nick Stats has come on the field, so Nick Taylor to Muhammad's spot.
Will step away as they stretch out here. Brad Muhammad. 2nd and 10. Nick Stats, former Calgary Dino, into the game here. Muhammad is up, walked off. Dolegala with 3 options out to his left, takes it, running back, flares out, gets it to Morrow. A little bit high, opened Morrow up, and he got tackled by who else? Micah Alway. 11th tackle of the game for Alway.
There's your answer of how the Calgary defense regroups. They got a 2nd and long, which gets things started for them, but you need one of your veterans to just get back to fundamentals, get rid of all the junk that's happened after the whistle and everything else, and just go make a clean tackle. That's what Mike Alway does on Jamal Morrow here.
The Riders are going to punt the ball. It is on the Calgary 34. Mescal is 4 for 4. Now let's see what they dial up here. They got a couple of guys in behind Korsak. And he's going to drop it on the far side. Kevin Jones trying to run after this football. Jones is onside. Ball is laying there. And Calgary is able to hop on it. Jones had a legit crack at that, didn't he?
Yes, he did. And they throw the flag when they see a white jersey inside the 5 yards, but they'll know to go back and look and see that he was onside. So he's allowed to be in there.
Should note there's a heavy wind here. If you're wondering why they didn't roll out Mescal, he would have been kicking into a pretty significant wind.
You can see right at the top of your screen.
No yards. Saskatchewan, number 26. It's a 15-yard penalty. It's going to be 1st down for Calgary.
Okay, well, that wasn't Tevin Jones, who was this guy right back here that is onside behind the kicker, so he's allowed to be inside the 5-yard zone. Someone else who wasn't behind the kicker got in there. I'm not sure that was the correct call. It was touched there. Tevin Jones looked like, to me, was the only guy in that 5-yard zone. But Calgary recovered either way.
Ball moved up to the 21. Still locked in at 19.
Whoa.
Now Mayer throws it ahead. Oh, that will go down, I guess, as an incomplete pass, but that was a little dangerous.
An incomplete pass, 2nd down.
What were they trying to dial up here?
Well, there was a push up front, and I didn't catch the number, but right there, this is a play wrecking play as Christmas coming right up the middle. It just...
And Brian Cox right here is able to get his hand in on it, trying to get it to Allen. Ran something similar earlier in the ball game, remember?
Brian Cox.
A little sloppy there. 3 for 15 on 2nd down. Mayer down the field. Markin Michel, and he's got it this time. Michel's 3rd catch of the game, by far his biggest and most important.
By far most important. By far best throw from Jake Mayer to take his drop, plant that back foot, and throw a strike to Markin Michel. Great outside break, cuts underneath Amari Henderson, 17 yards and a 1st down.
Longest completion of the game for Jake Mayer, up to his own 38. Nadeem Carey stands in to the left of his quarterback, takes the ball, and will be stopped just shy of the 45. Micah Tights in on the tackle.
Well, we've seen Always step up. Now it's Larry Dean's turn. This is the situation on 2nd and 5. Now the playbook's open for Calgary, but this is where the veterans on defense step up. And this is what they say. Guys like Larry Dean trying to stop Kadeem Carey, they say, come and run in my area. Throw it in my zone.
Second and 4. Back to Carey, right up the middle. Dean tries to get there, but not before he picked up the first down.
Well, Jason Shivers by design here, and the defensive coordinator takes Larry Dean out of the middle, and he moves him over here to the outside. We've seen this crash down with Dean on the outside. This time they get kicked out, so Dean's a little late getting there, and Kadeem Carey picks up the first.
They do give Larry Dean credit for that tackle. That gives him 2 and 100 on the season for the 3rd time in his career. This is the 7th player to accomplish that feat. Mayer, Kadeem Carey trying to find some space. Managed to get around the first attempted tackle from Amari Henderson. Picked up a couple extra yards.
2nd and 7 for Calgary offensively. 2nd and 6, 2nd and 7. You can go screen draw and keep Carey involved. I would expect some pressure here from Jason Shivers.
They need 7. From their own 53, Mayer, pressure does come, dumps it off to Logan, and this running back has a first down. It's Kadeem Carey, this time it's Logan. And Calgary's offense, for essentially the first time in this ball game, putting together a field-long drive.
This time, Jason Shivers gets Larry Dean in the middle, and what happens is they run a stunt to try and plug up anything from Peyton Logan up the middle. Logan releases outside. Nice call for the defense that they were facing to get him in behind Dean, the middle linebacker who was on the pass rush.
This is the 7th play of the drive, officially making it Calgary's longest drive of the game. It's been a steady diet of 2 and outs. Changing that here, though, Mayer. Kadeem Carey again. Micah Johnson is there. Dean comes over to help. And just a short gain on first down makes it 2nd and long. They do have the wind at their back if you're thinking about Paredes here.
This is first down play by Shivers. This time he wins. He leaves Dean right in the middle. They play basically a vanilla look. Run play off the right side gets Calgary in a 2nd and long situation. I would say this is a monster snap right here.
6 for 18 on 2nd down. A few of those picked up along this drive. 4 options to the left for Mayer. Riders are going to bring some pressure. Mayer gets it away. Down the field. Hakunavanu! And he hauls it in. Back shoulder catch. A beauty from Hakunavanu. And the Stamps are knocking on the door.
Do or die games. You got to just put it on the line and see if your playmakers can grow up in a hurry, as Coach Dickinson said at halftime. Will the young guys step up? Back shoulder throw from Jake Mayer. And Hakunavanu comes up with his biggest catch of the season.
By Saskatchewan.
Drops it in there over Jermaine Washington. Hakunavanu, who had one slip right through his arms earlier in the game, comes up with a huge catch here. And the Stampeders with some life late. Riders have called a timeout with the ball sitting on their 1.
It has been a roller coaster season for Hakunavanu. Some drops that
Please reset the game clock to 4:54. Thank you.
Some drops that have I think really hit his confidence a little bit. Had an earlier drop in this game, but his best 2 games of the season both were against Saskatchewan this year, and that was his biggest catch of the year.
Well, you said it was 2nd and 8. It was a huge play. Mayer finally took a shot down the field. Now Tommy Stevens into the game to put Calgary on top, and he's in. Touchdown Stampeders.
7:05 to play.
So here's a thought, and I'm going to bring up a name that everyone will recognize. Tommy Stevens out of Penn State is 6'5", 257 pounds. I'm just talking the future for Calgary with Jake Mayer as their #1 QB1. How about Tommy Stevens as a Chris Screvler type of guy in your lineup?
Brings the profile, doesn't he? Paredes to make it a 7-point lead right down the gut. Calgary once trailed in this game 13-0. A 9-play, 89-yard drive that took just over 5 minutes off the clock, finished by Tommy Stevens.
Nine-play drive by Jake Mayer got started with that great throw to Mark and Michelle over the middle. Kadeem Carey had 3 catches, or 3 touches for 21 yards rushing. The big throw to Acuna Vano gets him down on the goal line, and Stevens punches it in. Another big play on second down for Peyton Logan out of the backfield, back in the lineup.
4th touchdown of the season for Tommy Stevens, and the best looking drive for Jake Mayer.
Over to you, Jake Dolegala.
Into the wind with 4.5 left to play. Bertrand Hudon takes it. Returns it far side of the field, just outside the 35, and Dolegala, having lost 5 in a row, has the game on his shoulders right now.
Shaking the head there as he saw some teammates pushing and shoving a little bit to get into the huddle. First start for Jake Dolegala against the Calgary Stampeders in his career. That's how young he is. What does he have with 4 minutes to go? Down by a major.
Has the weapons to do it. Jamal Morrow, Bain, Emelis, all big so far tonight. Empty backfield here for Dolegala. And the whistle goes.
Violation, Saskatchewan #9. It's a 5-yard penalty. We'll replay first down.
Not the way you want to start a critical drive by being hit with 5 here for not getting that ball off in time.
No question about it, and that is on the quarterback.
4:07. Thank you.
Even if you get it in late, you got to be aware of the 20-second clock. And the corners here at McMahon.
Schaefer Baker in the slot, out to the right of Dolegala. Steps up in the pocket, dumps it off to Morrow. Morrow really nowhere to go, but he finds some space. What an effort by Jamal Morrow to get an extra 4 or 5 yards that probably shouldn't have been there.
Well, there is still plenty. Got a second and 5 here just because of second effort from Morrow.
50% on second down conversion so far. They'll go to Morrow, trying to push ahead, not going to be enough. Calgary's defense is there, but a flag flies high on the far side of the field. Let's see which way this one's going. Right at the end of the play.
Major foul, horse collar tackle. Calgary #41. We'll go up 15 yards from the end of the play. It's an automatic first down.
That's Mike Rose, and a huge first down for the Riders.
Yeah, because that was short. Rose doesn't get it. We'll try and take a look. Just to the left of your screen there, he reaches. You get the left arm. The angle the official must have had was that it pulled Morrow down from behind. He could fall forward.
Timeout has been called by Calgary.
Calgary has called a timeout. Dickinson with a chat with Ben Major.
Well, we'll take a look at it again. But Mike Rose, number 41 right here. And he's working on his blocker. You see the left hand across the front of the shoulder pad. Again, the running back or ball carrier does not have to fall backwards for it to be a horse collar call.
All of the officials have now come together at midfield. Looked like they were just about to put the ball down and blow things back in.
Dickinson challenged that. So Dickinson called a timeout there. The officials are still discussing this.
Had a timeout to burn before 3 minutes, so he used it. This be overturned without a challenge from a coach?
Well,
at this stage,
the only question I have about the horse collar tackle was.
Okay, now they're backing this ball up.
Upon further review by the video official, there was no penalty for horse collar.
Boy.
Therefore,
Rose's
we're going to
hand.
go back to the point ball dead. It's going to be third down for Saskatchewan.
Rose's hand was in the front of the shoulder pads of Morrow. So he was pulling him backwards, but see his left hand there is in the front of his pads to pull him down. To be a horse collar, it doesn't have to be right in the middle, but it has to be from behind.
I don't know if this is a greasy or brilliant move by Dave. Because if he doesn't call the timeout, the ball's just snapped and the play continues, and that's not overturned. But he called the timeout, didn't throw a challenge flag, and then had the play overturned anyway just because he used the timeout.
And then got 10 seconds back.
Did not see that one sorting out that way. 3rd and 2, and the Riders down by 7, just over 3 to go. They're going to be going here. Dolegala gets it to Morrow. He's got it for a first down. Midfield, and the Riders offense will stay on the field either way.
I tell you what, I'm punting the ball there. I'm just that
into the wind, heavy wind
on 3rd and 2 on your side of center field to go for it here. I'll tell you, okay, coaches are pulling out the stops right now. Get a new set.
1st and 10, smack dab at midfield. Morrow, can he find space? Not so much. Tracked down from behind originally by Rose. Slowed him down enough for everybody else to come in and finish him off. We've had 2 thrilling finishes already this season between these 2 clubs. How about another one? Time now for your Coors Light moment of chill, featuring former Calgary Stampeder Sean Bain Jr. back in his old stomping grounds, and chill before the game and really a thrill during the game.
Chance to lock up a playoff spot. Why not relax with some music before, dance a little bit, stay loose, and he's just shy of a 100-yard game here tonight.
The 97 on 6 carries, huge 2nd and 9 here for the Riders. Trailing by 7. Dolegala gets it away, has a completion. Stearns nowhere to go. Dozier's there to contain him, and that'll bring up 3rd down and about 6. Would you still kick it?
I'd still kick it. I mean,
the defense has stopped Calgary outside 1 drive the whole night.
Before the 3-minute warning, I would have kicked it. I would have kicked it now. Inside the 10. Short. See. Go for it.
3rd and 6. Dolegala takes the snap. 3-man rush. Gets it away. Incomplete. A ball thrown into no man's land. And a turnover on downs for the Riders. 4th turnover of the ball game if you're looking for a key difference maker in this one.
Nothing special, nothing exotic defensively. Three-man pressure, so Dolagala has some time to sit back there. May have rushed this throw a little bit, but just a one-hopper kind of too far for Emelis and too short for Bain behind him.
Calgary's had 8 2-and-outs in this ball game. They'd like to avoid one of those right now. 2.5 to play. They lead 26-19. Kadeem Carey straight ahead. That's some big boy football right there. He had a nice burst. Baldonado, DeMarcus Christmas, among others in there, and an injured rider down on the field. Is that C.J. Rivas? It is C.J. Rivas.
Well, if I was going to make an argument for Craig Dickinson to go for it on 3rd and 6 there, it would be that they were on Calgary's side of midfield. So if he gets the 2-and-out that he needs anyway, he can get that 2-and-out and still get the ball back. But now he's got a whole field to drive for a major instead of half the field to drive if you punt it and get your 2-and-out.
NFL on TSN continues Sunday with a game live from London, England between the Ravens and the Titans. Plus, NFL coverage continues all afternoon and evening long. Tune in at 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 a.m. Pacific on TSN for a cheerio good time from overseas. Rivas is up. Looks all right.
It's good to see.
2nd and 7. 3 yards for Kadeem Carey. Lots of time for the Riders if they can get a stop right here. Jake Mayer. 3 options to his left. Carey stands in there. Gets it away quickly to Markin Michel. He's got nowhere to go. Trying to escape, staying on his feet. Finally, they'll take him down. Dean is there among others. A flag just inside the 50, though. And that is a big piece of laundry laying on the field right now. Another injured rider down on the field as they try to sort this out. Markin Michel. It's interesting when they threw it to him, he really didn't have anywhere to go, Glenn, and then his second effort may have actually drawn a flag on the play.
Yeah, good things happen when you are giving it everything you got and putting in that second effort. But I think that is exactly what may happen here. Like they're trying to, haven't heard the official call, but was there a face mask on the tackle? And it was maybe the second try at the tackle.
Yeah, if you just could have wrapped him up in that first crack at it, would have avoided face mask after. Amari Henderson is down on the field. They're looking at it. Looks like he's moving his fingers and his legs, but
well, let's see. So no face mask there. It's Jaden Dahlke. Ford comes in, no face mask there, and the effort continues.
Unless if you see it on this. No, there's no face mask.
Yeah, I don't see a face mask.
There's no way there's
no face mask penalty there.
This would be 3rd down, and they'd have to kick it away. But we got a few good looks at that. I do not see a face mask. Anderson is up to his knees. We just saw C.J. Rivas banged up earlier. He got up and walked off. Rivas is now on to his feet. Or, sorry, rather, Henderson.
Ben Major's got to make an announcement on that penalty flag that's sitting there like an elephant on the field of McMahon Stadium here.
Does it get announced that there's no flag on the play? Let's find out. He looks like he's ready to go here.
Upon review by the video official, there is no penalty on the last play. It's going to be third down.
Okay, well, that took way too long, but we'll move on.
9th 2 and out for Calgary. So one more time, Dolegala will get the ball back, and if he can get some nice field position from Mario Alford, that would go a long way. Alford, by his standards, relatively contained by Calgary special teams so far this evening here on Friday Night Football. Grace gets it away. Alford takes it at the 12, gets one block, made one man miss, but then is tracked down around the 25 by Darius Williams. 98 seconds to work here.
So Craig Dickinson does get his 2 and out, and he gets the ball back. The only difference in all of it is the field position. 26-yard line, lots of real estate. Brent Monson try and kill a minute 38.
Trying to keep your playoff hopes alive here if you're Calgary. Get a stop. Dolegala quickly. Completion. Tackle made immediately. Nothing extra there for Bain. Will put him over 100 yards in the ball game. Awe with another tackle. Tonight he has a lot.
Got to get in and out of the huddle now.
13th tackle of the game for Awe. Dolegala, 2nd and 4. Looks to his right. Hesitates. Throws it low. Incomplete. Awe right there against Jareth Stearns. Looked like he double clutched it in the pocket there, did Dolegala. Third and 4 for the Riders. This will be their 5th third down gamble of the ball game. Turned it over a few times on downs already. Can't do that here. Dolegala, they'll move him to his right. Looking down the field, has a man at Stearns. First down, Riders. They stay alive with 76 seconds on the clock.
Tremendous poise here from Jake Dolegala. He's going to do something we didn't see really all game tonight and get him on the edge rolling out. He's got a little blocking help from Jamal Morrow, and he finds Stearns to keep the drive alive.
Work from the Riders 42. Dolegala, far side. Picton went down and got it. And got about half of what they're looking for there. Third catch of the game for Picton. 2nd and 5 from the 47. Dolegala quickly. And that one just laid down on the field. And eventually Awe will grab it. No whistles yet. And the officials slow to make a decision on this one.
He's behind. He's behind.
Awe saying he was behind the line of scrimmage.
The ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. It's going to be third down.
Ruling incomplete. Jamal Morrow comes out of the backfield, and was it a lateral? Ball thrown
Please
from
reset the game clock to 54 seconds.
the 40. Well, that was closer than I thought it was.
Yeah, it was closer than I thought it was. 3rd and 5. Stampeders. A stop here might seal it away. Dolegala, far side, completion, first down, Stearns again. Injured Stampeder at midfield that may have actually opened that up. Kobe Williams is down on the field, a pickup of 16 for the Riders.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question that that's what happened. It looked like that was a zone coverage. Well, it was man, and Kobe Williams runs into the Saskatchewan receiver. I think it was Emelis coming inside. He goes down and can't get back out to the outside to that throw.
Let's take another peek at it here.
There's Emelis coming inside. Stern, the inside receiver, going out and sitting on the sideline. And right there is that contact on Williams.
Challenge flag has been thrown by Dickinson.
Calgary is challenging the ruling on the last play. They believe there should have been offensive pass interference against Saskatchewan. The play will be reviewed.
So this is going to be a big call on third down here.
Well, the question is, did they collide by accident, or did Emelis lean in to try to make the pick here? There's an inside route here, and then this one that dies right there. Stop it here, guys. There's the contact. Is Emelis trying to deliberately cut Williams off there, or did they just collide by accident?
How do you decipher what's going on that play? Like it might have been embellished a little bit as well, but there was definitely contact on the play.
Well, it's essentially a pick.
Yeah.
If they determine that Emelis leaned
or changed the way he was going, that'll take a huge play off the board for the Riders. They thought that they had a first down, but do they? Let's find out.
Upon further review, there is offensive pass interference against Saskatchewan, number 19. It's a 10-yard penalty. We'll replay third down.
We usually see this type of thing down at the goal line where you try to set a pick and make it look innocent. Refs determined that Emelis made the decision that he deliberately made the pick. It's third down over, and a lot longer way to go here.
So it'll be 3rd and 15. Ball will be placed on the 37-yard line. 48 seconds on the clock. A Riders win would eliminate the Calgary Stampeders from postseason contention, but Calgary's got a 7-point cushion trying to seal this thing away. Dolagala's got to get at least 15. Schaefer Baker, quiet night, slot to his right. Emelis, Baines to the top of your screen. That's where Dolagala looks. Has some time. Now he's going to try to take off. He's in trouble, and he's taken down. Judge and Rose finish him. And Calgary's playoff hopes are alive.
These two Calgary linebackers may have had their best game of the season, and they've had some good ones. Micah Holloway already over 100 tackles, and Cameron Judge has a pick 6 tonight and makes this third down play. Lined up pretty deep when it's third and as much as Dolagala had to get there. He's got time, steps up nicely, but can't find an open target, and Cam Judge closes the distance.
Dave Dickinson happy. His brother, not so much.
Saskatchewan.
Are they challenging? You might as well, I guess. "40 seconds on the clock. You got your challenge still. Find something."
Saskatchewan is challenging that there was pass interference on the last play against the receiver. The play will be reviewed.
Is that one where you throw it and go, somebody find pass interference?
Well, you can't. Pass interference challenge got to be where the ball was targeted. So you can't. There was no throw there.
this is going to be a quick one.
No, it's not. You can't tell.
Upon further review by the command center, the ruling on the field stands. Saskatchewan loses their challenge and a timeout. It's first down for Calgary.
There's no throw. And if there's going to be pass interference, you know, illegal contact is one thing, but not pass interference.
Disastrous finish for the Riders, who led this game 13-0. And then kind of gifted Calgary 5 points late in the first half. And after that, the Calgary Stampeders, not that it was impressive by any fashion on the offensive side of the ball, but they outscored the Riders over a stretch 26-6 to come back and pick up this victory.
Well, and Dave Dickinson now has control. They have control of their destiny. The Calgary Stampeders play BC in Vancouver and then host Winnipeg to end the season. Saskatchewan has just one game left. Calgary now has the season series.
Those could be big games for everybody involved, depending on how that works out. Stampeders and Riders deliver again. And Calgary controls their own destiny, taking the season series from the Riders by claiming victory in the rubber match. Stampeders needed to win in the worst of ways, and the slide continues for Saskatchewan, Suits.
We're going down in the final couple of weeks of the season, and there's a lot of games that mean a lot to these teams, including these two tonight. It's not done yet. Who gets that last playoff spot?
Dave Dickinson never missed the playoffs as a player. He's never missed the playoffs as a coach, and he hasn't missed the playoffs just yet. Calgary within striking distance of the green and white as the Riders let one slip away, a sloppy effort, multiple turnovers, costing them in the end. And Friday night football finishes with Calgary on top, 26-19. That'll do it for us. Sports Center's next.